Hello, everybody, and welcome back to The Film is Okie Dokie, the show where every other week we sit down and watch a movie to determine whether or not it is okie dokie. I am Tommy, joined as always, joined by the all-wise and knowing CJ.
Oh, thank you. That's a hell of a title. Hi, I'm CJ. Hello.
How you doing today, CJ?
I'm good. It feels like it's been a while.
Yeah, we've been kind of, I wouldn't say off schedule with our recordings, but we've been mixing it up here and there. So instead of some of our recordings being routinely 1 week apart, sometimes it's a week and a half, sometimes it's like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, hopefully things cool off soon. I like normal.
Well, if I got news for you, we got this little thing starting up soon called summer.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely going to be cooling off then.
Yeah, for sure. It's known for being very cold.
CJ, what have you been up to lately?
I actually went to the movies twice since the last time we spoke.
Really? Same here.
Yeah, well, that's not that unusual for you. I feel like you go pretty often. I have not been in a while.
Okay, so before this past weekend, what was the last movie you had gone to see in theaters?
Ooh. God, I'd have to look at 2025 films, excuse me. So, I think I went in 2025.
Yeah, you definitely, because you at least saw Thunderbolts, which came out last year.
Yes. Did Thunderbolts come out after the Minecraft movie?
Ooh, that's a really great question. I'm gonna check on that right now.
Yes. Trying to find a list of just the movies that came out is surprisingly more difficult than I thought.
Yeah, so Thunderbolts came out around a month after the Minecraft movie. Oh, wait, no. Okay, I need to not trust. So many of these letterboxed listings put such weird release dates okay, so Minecraft released April 4th, Thunderbolts May 2nd.
Okay, so I went and saw Minecraft with you and Jade and Housemate. I saw the Thunderbolts with my uncle. And now I'm flipping through. And I'm just trying to think, because I didn't see the Phoenician Scheme and I wanted to.
You didn't see the Smashing Machine?
I did not, no.
You didn't see any of the Best Picture nominees in theaters, did you?
No, I didn't. I saw Superman.
Okay.
'Cause I'm a punk rocker, yes I am. I went and saw that with my mom.
Right.
'Cause she loves Superman. I didn't go see Eddington in theaters because it was only in theaters for 2 weeks near me. Yeah.
So Superman.
Superman was the last time, so that was July.
Yeah.
Yes. And I actually finally got back into my account for my local theater, and I had not used it since 2023.
Woo.
So, yes. I had just been paying as a guest all this time. But now I'm earning reward points. So
good. Well, I hope, I'm sure we're going to talk about the 2 movies you went and saw, but I hope that this is, a spark in the CJ going to see movies in theaters machine.
I feel so rejuvenated after going to the movies. It legitimately felt like the best self-care that I had done in a long time.
Good. You got to go more.
I have to go more. And I've been saying that forever, and you rightfully pointed that out, but I want to go more. So I went and saw Project Hail Mary. I really wanted to go see it in IMAX, but the nearest IMAX is over an hour and a half away. I just couldn't do it.
Right.
I just couldn't make the trip, There isn't one really anywhere near me. So I went and saw Project Hail Mary. Project Hail Mary, I guess this is a spoiler warning, although I'll try to keep it not spoilery. But some spoilers may come up in this conversation. If they do, we'll obviously put it in the description. But just be warned, if you haven't seen Project Hail Mary,
check the subscription. Check the description first.
Pay us and then check. Okay. So, right? Project Hail Mary was awesome. Project Hail Mary was beautiful and visually, and also really sad. The whole before the plot that ran throughout, like the flashback sequences, that ended tragically. That was so terrible.
Yes. This is so hard to talk about without getting into too in-depth spoilers.
Okay,
I guess,
warning.
What more do you have to? No,
2.
I guess first, what more do you have to say about that?
Damn it! You know that he ends up on the mission because that's the whole movie, right?
Right.
But you like to think that there's this moment, this inflection point where it's like they'll convince him to go.
All right, we're just going to assume that these are full spoilers at this point.
Well,
Let's just do it.
I tried.
Yeah, let's just do it.
It's hard not to talk. Okay. 3, 2, 1, spoiler. Yeah, they fucking force him to do it. And you like to think like, oh, he's on this and he eventually made the right decision. It's like, no. It was really, they literally forced him to give up his life at face value. And it ends with Carl standing over him. By the way, I love that actor. He's great. The guy from The Bear.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Good
I'm
role.
like, great role for him. And they're like, don't worry, you got this. I'm like, oh my God, that's terrible. That's awful.
Yeah. I mean, the Earth's ending. You gotta.
I guess. Yeah, I don't know. But Rocky, very well done. Rocky is incredibly well done in that movie.
Yeah. Fantastic.
It is not easy to make people excited about a basically rock spider that has no eyes and face and communicates through whale sounds. But they did it, and they made him puppy-like, partially because of the communication thing, but they made him very lovable and very emotional when he goes to save Rocky. So.
Yeah, I'm glad that you specifically called out that they made Rocky very puppy-like. I think that as someone who has read the book multiple times, I really like the movie. I think it's a good adaptation. It's a really fun movie. Notwithstanding as an adaptation of this book specifically, it's good. You should go watch it. You should see it if you've not seen it. But there are some things I'm disappointed with in the adaptation. One of them is I think they made Rocky too much like a Labrador and not like an engineer. Because in the book, he and Rocky very much have a scientist-engineer relationship. And not that that's not present in the movie, but Rocky does feel reduced in a lot of scenes to just being the quippy, happy-go-lucky sidekick when he's a lot more than that. And we don't get to see him to his full capacity that we do in the book in terms of how much of a straight-up peer he is to Ryland Grace.
Mm-hmm.
Still, absolutely loved the representation and characterization of Rocky in this, though.
I agree that he definitely this is the what'd you say, he's like a Labrador and looks like a lab partner.
Yeah.
He definitely is been puppyfied, right? He's been like happy-go-lucky sidekick-fied. He's like annoying at times to Grace, but I don't know how you do it the other way in film. You know what I mean?
Well, I think that it
for
could
a broad
work.
audience.
I still think that it could work because a lot of those things are still there in the book. He annoys Grace in the book, yeah, but it's more out of his how stubborn Rocky is. And there's a lot of humor in the book too that I think would appeal and play to a wide audience. It just I think this is my main complaint with the movie, and it's my complaint a little bit with the book, but the book is so excellent at the type of book it's setting out to be that I don't really care. But the movie, I think it showed a little bit more for the worse. Is it does feel as though it's really trying to appeal to the term that I've used a lot in talking about it is the lowest common denominator. Like they went straight up. They put all of their stats in mass market appeal when I don't think that they needed to do that. I think that appeal would still be there without like pandering to that degree. Not to say it's a movie that panders like excessively, but I do think that there are a lot of moments where it's like, okay, yeah, I feel like I could have seen this being in any movie, like the quips, the specific quips, I should say, or the way that certain scenes are undercut with humor. Again, and I want to say I did really like the movie. I'm just being a bit nitpicky as such a fan of the book.
I'm thinking about how do you make this film into a film that could make $1 billion, right? And from that perspective, I think that they made the right decision in caricaturing Rocky. Because I think he sells better as that version of that character than he does the other way. Does that make sense? Like, I think he sells better as like the chipper version that we have in the movie than he does as like a legitimate engineer. I'm not saying that as a we can disagree on this, by the way. That's allowed. But
no, not allowed.
Well, anyway, so that's my overall point. Is I think this movie is going to be, and it hasn't grossed as much as the Mario movie, which is insane. The domestic gross, anyway. I guess it's a wider audience, but still, my point stands.
Much wider audience with an already existing IP, and it's the second in a franchise.
Yeah, it just passed it for what it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess to that point about Rocky, like, yeah, I think ultimately I don't agree because like in the book he is so incredible. Like brought me to tears multiple times. I felt so strongly for the version of Rocky in the book. And this isn't to say that it's like night and day, the two portrayals. They're like 75 to 80% the same, but I do think that there's something lost in that last 20%.
Okay.
What did you think about some other aspects of the movie? What did you think about the ending?
Where he goes and lives with the rock people?
Yeah, on Arid. He lives with the Iridians.
Yeah. I love that he made a choice and it had consequences. One, it also juxtaposes really well with the decision he didn't make, which was to go on the mission in the first place, right? Mm-hmm. It's like he actually chose to be brave and go save Rocky.
He actually made, then that's Ryland's whole character arc. That's what it builds up to. Is like we think the whole movie that he is this person who has made the self-sacrifice play to go on this mission. We learn late in the game that's not true. That's not who he is. But then he still decides to do it anyway because, like the movie says, and this is from the movie thing, not in the book, you just need someone to be brave for. And now he has that with Rocky.
Yeah. And I liked the ending where they're on the beach. Mm-hmm. And then he goes to teach the Iridians. Like, in the book, does it explain how the other two people died?
No, but yeah. Okay, so that's a great question. There's one thing that was really omitted from the movie that I do think was probably the biggest mistake in a change. There's a lot of talk in the book about comas, and specifically in order for the crew to get to Tau Ceti and not be at all of their throats, they're going to put them all into comas. But only a small subset of the population on Earth has the specific genomes required to be able to potentially survive these medically induced comas they will be put into. And a big part of the book is figuring this out and assembling a crew of the available people who have this genome. So it's one of those things where it's like already the number of potential candidates to go on the Project Hail Mary are drastically reduced to only people with this coma genome. And that's a big part of why Ryland is the one who goes on the mission in the place of the two science experts who die, is because not only is he the leading expert in astrophage and he's fully up to date on everything like a couple days before launch, but he also has the coma genome, and very few people do. So that all plays into it, and it's assumed in the book that while the coma genome is required, it's a prerequisite to survive these comas, it's not a guarantee that you will. So you kind of come to the conclusion on your own that they just die due to complications of that. That's not to say that is explicitly what happened, though, because Andy Weir seems to have given some coy responses around that he knows why they didn't survive the trip. And based on his wording, it seems like it's not just that assumption of they didn't survive because they just didn't survive the comas by pure luck.
Okay, interesting. I wanted to say Ryan Gosling, great performance.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the last 10 years of Ryan Gosling have been amazing. From someone who I didn't think that much of prior to La La Land, I was like, oh, that's Ryan Gosling. But then he did La La Land. He's done the Blade Runner 2049. He was in Barbie. I feel like he was great in all of those and got a lot of shine for those. So, just add this to the list. Color me impressed, right?
Yeah, really fantastic. For me, my time with him, I'd say I did see The Notebook around when it came out, but I was very young. I didn't really know what actors were who. For me, it's like Crazy Stupid Lovin' On. I think is like, that's a great
the 2011
run.
with Drive and The Place Beyond the Pines.
Yeah, he's just really good as Ryland. I do think that I heard Andy Weir say, when I was just walking behind him on the street, I heard him say that he wrote the role of Ryland Grace in the book with Ryan Gosling in mind.
Oh,
I think that comes through in the book too. Like, to me, what differentiates Ryan Gosling from a lot of other leading men in Hollywood right now is Ryan Gosling. He does a really great job at just being a weirdo, and not like Jake Gyllenhaal weirdo. He does weirdo in a different type of way. This is more like affable weirdo who you'd hang out with, or like funny guy weirdo. And I think that Ryland is just schlubby enough from the outset and quirky enough that it's just like, yeah, no, this is right in Ryan Gosling's wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad you liked Project Hail Mary.
I love that movie.
How do I word this? Where would you rank this on your Ryan Gosling tier list? Is this near the top? Is La La Land at the top? Is Place Beyond the Pines at the top?
For Ryan Gosling performances?
Let's just say Ryan Gosling movies.
Well, then my number one is going to be Barbie, but that's not because of Ryan Gosling.
Oh, it's because of all the feet in that movie.
Shut the fuck.
It's because one of the opening scenes is the close-up of the foot.
All right, moving on. I saw another movie over the weekend.
Yeah?
Yeah. I saw... Okay, I haven't told anybody. I haven't told you this. I've also been very coy not to tell anybody what I saw, so that we could have this conversation fresh on the podcast, and there was no way. The only person I told was Jade. Okay? I went and saw The Drama.
Okay.
Which you saw over the weekend.
Yes. We went and saw this like Saturday morning, and then Saturday night, like last showing of the night, we went and saw Super Mario Galaxy. So this was the start of a very prolonged double feature.
I also saw This in the Morning on Saturday.
Whoa.
Or Sunday, one of those days.
Maybe we synced and we didn't even know it. We could have recorded a commentary track.
So I'm going to tell you why I went and saw this movie, okay? First of all, after Challengers, I have vowed that I'm basically going to go see every a Zendaya film from here on out. Okay? Mm-hmm. So I love her. I'm gonna go support her. Right. I'm seeing this because she's in it. Okay.
Okay.
I feel like I've held up my end of the bargain on that. I'm trying to look at her adult filmography. Basically, since Far From Home, Spider-Man: Homecoming, I have seen everything with her in it that was made for adults.
You saw Malcolm and Marie?
I think I did.
She might be the only person on the planet.
I saw Space Jam: A New Legacy.
I didn't even remember that she was in it.
She was the voice of Lola Bunny, motherfucker.
Wow.
All right, listen. So, I saw a commercial for this for what I thought was the movie. It played before a video that I was trying to watch because I was watching an embedded video. And it was a video of Zendaya at a police station where she's like, me in Mexico? And then there's a video of her swallowing drug balloons. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then on the same website where it was embedded, there were ads for the drama. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm going to go see the drama. That movie, the commercial that I saw that was like, oh, I'm going to go see the drama. That is not what this movie's about.
No, you must have seen a trailer for Euphoria
season 3. I
Season
saw a trailer for Euphoria Season 3.
Oh, my goodness.
But then in the parking lot of the movie theater, I'm like, Zendaya, me in Mexico? Like, I couldn't find the trailer. So then I thought I hallucinated it. Turns out it was for Euphoria Season 3, which I'm gonna watch Euphoria. I have never seen it before, but I want to. And so I'm like, cool, fine. We're cool, right? That movie was nothing like what I expected it to be, but then once it started, it also wasn't like anything that I expected it to be. In sort of an impressive way. And I don't know how I feel about that movie after the end of that movie. I'm so interested to talk to you about it. I legitimately didn't see that coming at all. I didn't know what this movie was supposed to be about. I didn't think it was going to be about that.
Mm.
And
maybe before you go any farther, I'm going to give a quick synopsis or just setup for the movie, and then we'll give a spoiler warning, and then we can talk about everything. Mm-hmm. So the drama is a movie that just came out starring Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. They play an engaged couple who are soon to be married, and when one of them reveals something and it leads to a bunch of drama. That's the easiest way to put it. That's all you need to know going into it. So spoiler warning, 3, 2, 1.
They're all at a tasting, the best man and the maid of honor and the couple, because they're getting married that weekend. And they go through everything, and they decide to have a game where they're going to tell everybody the worst thing that they ever did.
Mm-hmm.
So the best man goes first, and he's like, I used my girlfriend as a human shield one time when we were on vacation in Mexico. When a dog tried to bite me. So I used her as a human shield. I was like, oh my god, that's so fucking terrible. The maid of honor is like, I locked a mentally handicapped child in a closet in an abandoned RV.
Actually,
and left him there.
She did dispute that he was mentally challenged.
Yeah, but she did call him slow.
Hey, all I'm saying is when
Are you on her side?
All I'm saying is when Robert Pattinson said exactly what you said, she said, no, I did not say that.
Yeah, but she called him slow. Like, okay, fine. He was just slow. What is slow slang for?
He can't run a 40-meter dash in under 5.5 seconds.
She meant that he wasn't Jesse Owens. You're 100% right. Robert Pattinson's thing, which they did not give him enough shit for, by the way, was that he cyberbullied somebody so bad that he had to move.
Well, he wasn't exactly sure that was the cause.
But I don't know. Everyone else seems pretty sure that was the cause. I feel pretty sure that was the cause. And then Zendaya goes, yeah, when I was 15, I planned a school shooting, but I didn't do it. And holy fuck. Of all the things that she could have said, I was like, oh my god. And then that's basically what everybody else does. What the fuck? Why would you even joke about that? She's like, I'm not joking. And then the maid of honor gets all mad and is like, my cousin's in a wheelchair because of a shooting, right? She's like, I didn't know that. She's like, oh, I told you. And I was like, oh my God. So, yeah, they that's the whole movie.
Yeah.
Is Robert Pattinson is now like, how can I possibly love this woman? She planned a school shooting. How could I possibly do anything with this woman? How could I be involved with this woman? How could I go through with the marriage? And she like keeps explaining it, and the more she explains it, the worse it sounds. And then it's like, oh, well, she actually changed her life for the better afterwards. And she became the person she is today. It's like, no, she's still a psychopath. No one wants to give her the benefit of the doubt. Like, and it ends with this whole thing being a big mess during their wedding. And I really want to hear what you have to say about it, because the whole time I'm like, would I have gone and saw this movie? I probably would have because of Zendaya. But would I have gone and saw this movie if I didn't think it was some other movie where she was a drug mule in Mexico? And I don't know. So the floor is yours.
Yeah, going into it, Jade and I were aware, we knew the setup. We learned about a week or two before its release what the twist, it's hard to call it a twist because it's just the premise, what Zendaya's what the confession was. So yeah, we went and saw it kind of knowing what we were going into. But yeah, I thought this was a really good movie. My favorite of the last couple of years? No, but it was still a good watch.
Yeah.
It asks a lot of it just puts these characters into such a fucked up situation that at the least makes for an interesting watch as like a character study. And just, oh my God, these people, there are so many scenes where it's like, why is no one saying this? How come none of you are approaching this differently? Why is this the tact that you choose for this situation? Because it really feels like this, her confession is an incredibly delicate subject matter. And once it's on the table, it feels like every character except for the best man gets out a hammer and starts smashing the table. No one approaches this with understandably so. No one approaches this with any grace. And the maid of honor character, who ends up being very antagonistic towards Zendaya because of all this, she is so understandable in where she's coming from. And it's, I think, just a well-written character in that she's so understandably misunderstanding. Not to say that she's like misunderstanding what Zendaya said and whatnot, but Zendaya also, she was 14, 15 years old.
Yeah.
This is a decade and a half later. Zendaya, based on everything she says, she was very clearly a very confused and troubled child. And what she was planning to do, absolutely horrific. But when the reality of the situation came around with her accidentally injuring herself in the planning stages, I think that a lot of things fell into place where, because we hear her, at one point Robert Pattinson's like, yeah, but why did you do it? And she's like, well, bullying. And then she also goes on, she's like, just the aesthetic of it. And I think that to me was the most clear example of oh no, she was a teenager who truly had no fucking clue what she was doing. She had no earthly understanding of this other than, I just want to make a big impact. I want attention, etc. So many things, right? That feels reductive of me to say just wanting attention and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But very clearly, once the reality of this showed it to her, and these other shootings happened and whatnot, she did the impression I got was initially when that's part of the plot, is that in response to her planning this, she then did a complete 180 and became like a gun control activist and like mass casualty event activist and whatnot. Very vocal. And
she never did anything to make this better for herself, by the way, because they finally asked her, like, why didn't you do it? It's because somebody had a mass shooting that day.
Yeah, like the day before she was going to do it or something like that. So it's like...
So the reason you didn't do it is because somebody did it first? I remember he asked her that. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah. So like it's just such a, I thought it was a good movie from the standpoint of like, yeah, like to a degree, I'm not going to say entirely, to a degree, you can understand all of the sides of this, but everyone needs to be doing better in this situation.
Yeah. My big takeaway was just like, this is love is messy, right? Like drama, this is so much mess, right? This is all the drama. But like, he still loves her. The whole back half of the movie is him trying to justify to other people, right? Trying to justify marrying her to other people or not himself. I think Robert Pattinson has like a top 5 performance in this movie, by the way, for him.
I was going to say, wait, top 5 in the movie? There's like 4 main characters.
No. I think for his career, this is like a great Robert Pattinson role. The scene where he punches the Diet Coke can. I was like, God damn. All right. But also, can we talk about Robert Pattinson for a minute? He then sexually assaulted his coworker, his underling, his subordinate, Misha.
Words
like,
okay, real quick.
She also was kind of into it though.
I was gonna say that felt a lot more. One, I was gonna ask, was she a subordinate? I just got the impression that they were coworkers, but I don't
know. Well, he's like the head curator, right?
Yeah, you're right. He is head curator, I guess. Yeah. Because that did seem very consensual in the moment, but of course it could have been total power dynamic and everything. But
he rips her shirt and then literally like takes her skirt up and then she like gets into position. And then it's like, oh, what am I doing? And then she's like, I don't know. Like, you tell me. So it seemed like whatever, but I'm not also going to be the person that's like, she wanted it. Like, that seems like an awful position to take. So, we're not doing that. But, anyway.
Just another messy situation in this movie.
Yeah, and then I'm like, nah, man. Like, she didn't shoot up a school. You did try to fuck your coworker. Also, the art book where you keep seeing her with the guns.
That was one thing that I did really like about this movie was a lot of the visual storytelling. Like, where we see him learning... Like when he learns all of this information about Zendaya, like, yes, she's a very different person, but like understandably, he has a hard time separating her from this confession and this idea of her as a teenager. Like he sees her as this teenage version of herself, right? All like everywhere. He sees, because it's like he's unable to get that out of his mind. So when he's like walking with her holding hands, he sees / feels as though he's walking with like the 14-year-old version of her. This version of her that was on the brink of truly something atrocious and catastrophic. It's hard for him to separate that in his mind. And I just really liked the storytelling choices in that, and like you said with the book, it's, if you've not seen the movie, there's a book that appears on Robert Pattinson's desk at one point. We're never told where it came from, but it's pretty much a book. It's a lot of women in like revealing clothing posing with guns, And it seems like it's a type of like actual dissection of something, like an actual artistic and academic book. But whenever he flips through it, a lot of the pictures he just sees Zendaya posing with various guns, or the gun that she was planning to do the shooting with.
Yeah. So, I like, this is a good small movie. We don't make a lot of just good movies anymore. Everything has to be so big or it doesn't get made. Right?
Now, I would like to posit or submit one thing to evidence, if you don't mind.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to say there were a lot of good smaller movies last year that you just didn't go to the theater to see because you saw 3 movies in theater last year.
Well, yeah, that's different. I like these smaller movies in general.
Oh. There's more than just the drama. We got to get you going, CJ. We gotta lube those wheels.
I'm going. God, you know what the highest grossing A24 film of all time is?
Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Nope.
Okay, wait, let me think.
It's
highest
second,
grossing
by the way. That's second.
That's second? This is gonna kill me as soon as I know. I'm trying to think. It's definitely more recent than that, because I could have sworn Everything Everywhere All at Once. Shoot, what is it?
Marty Supreme.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Still didn't crack 100 million domestic, but yeah. All right. We're here to see a movie today.
Well, wait, real quick. I did have one final follow-up question to the drama.
Oh, is it Okie Dokie? Yes.
I was going to ask, are you super pumped now for The Odyssey starring both Zendaya and Robert Pattinson?
Is that Robert Pattinson? Isn't that too?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the thing. I've talked myself into it. I am prepared for this to be a fucking nightmare. Like, I am prepared for this to be a fucking train wreck of a film. But I hope it isn't.
What? So I guess what about it makes you feel as though it's going to be a train wreck?
Okay. Tenet didn't get reviewed that well. And that was his last movie, right?
No, he did Oppenheimer. He won Best Picture.
Oh, okay. Oppenheimer felt different. I don't know. He did have a really good cast in Oppenheimer. Do I want to? I don't know. I just think that this is going to be harder to take on than people give it credit for, because everybody knows the story, and so it's like it could just suck. It could just be a blurry green filtered mess. Everything that I've seen looks like it's through a fucking piece of green cellophane.
What are you watching?
Fucking saying, maybe I am colorblind.
Maybe.
But anyway,
I wanted to go on record because I think I had voiced in the past that I wasn't too excited about this, just by virtue of not like I'm a Christopher Nolan hater, but I'm not really like a Christopher Nolan fan. But when we went and saw Project Hail Mary, they had an extended teaser for The Odyssey, which was like, it was about like 2 or 3 minutes uninterrupted of a scene from it. And I gotta say, blew me away. I am so in on The Odyssey.
All right. I want to be wrong, but I also am not going to go see any trailers for it ahead of time.
All right. Well, with that discussion all done on the movies that we had seen in the past week, how about we talk about a movie that we will see in the next, I don't know, like 10 minutes?
Yeah. I've never seen this. I told that to a few people, and they were all like...
Do you want to say the name of the movie?
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
That's what we're watching?
I know. Everyone's like, what, you haven't seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. And then everyone has done the same thing to me. So this is the only thing I know about the movie. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
3 separate people did this to me, okay? I would be like, yeah, I haven't seen it. That's what we're watching next on the podcast. What, you haven't seen it? Bueller. So they just did that to me, and I'm like, okay, here we go. Okay, is that supposed to be like the big funny? So I'm waiting for it.
That's
they all quoted the same fucking thing.
What
Bueller.
Now, don't get me wrong. That is certainly one of the more iconic moments of the movie. What a weird thing to just quote sans context, though, because that's something that people definitely quote a lot, but I feel like you need at least a little bit of, like, that's something that doesn't just work off the rip as a quote, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess you don't. You haven't seen the movie. So all you know about this is Bueller, Bueller, Bueller?
That's all I know.
Okay.
I think that Simba's in it.
Yeah? Well, wait, which Simba?
Adult Simba.
Which adult Simba?
Matthew Broderick?
Oh.
Yeah, you fucking put me into a fucking corner.
It's not Donald Glover?
No. What? No?
He's the other adult Simba.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know shit about this movie. I don't know anything about it. I don't know shit about shit. I'm just here.
Cool. Have you you ever play hooky from school, CJ?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never skipped classes. Like where you go to school and then you don't go to class, because I'm like, where the fuck would I go? But I did just not go to school. Yeah.
What did you do instead?
Sometimes I faked. Most of the time I faked sick, so like my options were limited.
Okay.
So I'd be like pretending to be sick, and then my mom worked from home, so it wasn't like I could like leave
Couldn't
or anything.
sneak out. Yeah. What when you played sick, did you have like a go-to move? Would you be like, I'm so sick?
I would always say I had stomach issue.
Okay. Hey, that's a good one. It's easy to say, it's easy to fake, hard to diagnose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's hard to check. What about you? Did you have a go-to?
No, I was never one to cut class. The closest I ever came to cutting class was one time we went out for senior lunch, since seniors could leave campus, and we my friend who drove, their car battery died. So we had to get a jump, and we ended up being like, I don't know, 30 minutes late to our next / final period of the day. And rather than have to go in through the main entrance and get the tardy pass from the security officers, we instead just snuck into the building and didn't get one. That's about the closest I ever came to an experience like that.
You never faked being sick?
No, not really. No.
You never took a mental health day?
No.
All right.
I was one of those kids that most years went to school every day.
Well, then there you go.
All right. Well, CJ, Ferris Bueller, you want to take off your headset and I will make a quick prediction for how you're going to like it?
Yes. My headset is off.
All right. This movie, I've seen this one so many times. This, it's a certified capital C Chicago, capital C classic. So on all the time in households when I was growing up. I would say it's pretty good. I think that it's aged pretty well, especially for most John Hughes films. So I'm excited for CJ to see it. I think that overall he's going to say, yeah, pretty okie dokie. Though I do think there are going to be moments of Ferris almost getting caught throughout this where CJ is going to be cringing. So I do expect cringe moments. All right, let me tell CJ to get back here. And I spelled come the way you expect again.
Why do you spell it that way?
Okay. So,
what?
If you would like
Answer me.
If you would like to watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off with us, there is a link in the description to the commentary track, and you can pause the podcast in just a moment. Otherwise, you can keep on listening. But if you would like to watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off with us, then pause the podcast right now.
Cameron? Blink if you understand me.
Cameron has never been in love.
Oh no, he's been reset to Spanish mode.
Fucking Buzz Lightyear looking ass. Senor Lightyear, to the rescue.
Treat him like shit.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Film is Okie Dokie. It's been a little under a week for us. CJ, how have you been?
I've been good. Actually, I just had this thought pop into my head right as we started. Are you Cameron and I'm Ferris? Or am I Cameron and you're Ferris?
I think you're Cameron and I'm Ferris.
That's very fair. Yes.
No pushback in to any degree. You're just like, yep, okay, yeah.
I think you might be onto something. Although I do think I'm George Costanza and you're Jerry.
Okay. See, I watched some Seinfeld, not enough to be able to say with anything. With any sort of certainty beyond the fact that you're George Costanza. That I know for certain.
Yeah. So it might confuse people that I could be both Cameron and George Costanza. But I think it's right.
Yeah, I feel like there's a little bit of overlap with them, and you fill that void perfectly.
Thank you.
So, what have you been up to? Anything?
Working a lot. But I'm off. I have some vacation time coming up. I'm off starting on Thursday. So I have off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. A little 5-day weekend. I was originally supposed to come visit you, but that didn't happen. It fell through. So I, for stuff that happened on my end, not your end. And, yeah, so I just have this cool little 5-day weekend. I'm going to try and go to the movies, try and relax, Stuff
nice.
Like that.
What are you looking to go see?
So I saved the Mario movie so that I had that. I wanted to see.
No clue why you would do that to yourself.
Is it really that bad?
It's
I
like
watched
a
the
Minecraft
first one.
movie.
I watched the first one and I liked it. I mean,
it's worse than the first one.
Okay. I mean,
Well, I can't wait to talk to you about it in the pre-show of our next episode.
What's insane? It's not showing at my local theater, but my cinema group has a bunch of locations, and at every other location, do you know what movie is showing this week?
Project Hail Mary.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, that's right. I saw that it was coming back to theaters. That's this upcoming weekend?
Yeah, but it's not in my theaters.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so hang on. I want to see.
The timing on that's immaculate.
It's crazy, right? Let's see. What's in theaters this weekend? Let's look at Saturday. Hoppers. Project Hail Mary I've already seen. I already saw the drama. Mario, which has a lot of showtime, so I'll probably end up seeing it. A Great Awakening. Is that biblical?
It sounds like it.
Let's see. Great Awakening. A Great Awakening tells the story of an unlikely friendship resulting in one of the most defining moments in American history. With the colonies on the brink of collapse, the Reverend George Whitefield sparks the first Great Awakening, uniting an entire generation with his thundering proclamation of liberty in Christ. Okay?
Okay, so it's historical religious. Cool.
Okay. The 15th anniversary of Bridesmaids will be at my theater this weekend.
Oh, nice. Are you going to go to that?
I might go to that.
They honored it at the Oscars.
Beast comes out there's a showtime for Beast this weekend. Do you know Beast?
Is that a Beauty and the Beast remake?
After years of running away from the cage, a once feared MMA champion is pulled back in for the fight of his life when his younger brother is put in danger. Reuniting with the trainer whom once made him a legend, he commits to one final showdown against the reigning title holder, a brutal fighter determined to dismantle the ex-champ's legacy in front of the world. Starring Daniel McPherson, Luke Hemsworth, and Russell Crowe.
Wow. So it's like a Pope's Exorcist, but with fighting.
There is one showtime starting on Friday. So it's like at the end of its theatrical run.
Well,
it only got to theaters on the 10th.
Wow.
So very limited theatrical run.
Hot off the presses.
Yeah. Exit 8 is coming to theaters. Have you seen Exit 8?
I've played the game, so
Yeah.
I have some interest in going to see the movie.
Yep. So that's a thing. I don't know that I like Exit 8.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's something that you would particularly enjoy either.
There is You, Me, and Tuscany, which is a rom-com.
Oh, that looks kind of fun. That looks like While You Were Sleeping, except Italy.
Yeah. There's this movie called Faces of Death. A woman is employed as a content moderator for a website. She comes across a series of violent videos reproducing death scenes from a film. All right, that's like a horror movie.
So, say you go. I have a bit of a hypothetical question for you, CJ.
Okay.
Say you go to one of these movies. Let's pick one of these movies to say you go to. Do you want it to be the Mario movie?
Yeah, that or Normal, which comes out this weekend.
Okay, not familiar with it, but let's say you go see
Bob
Normal.
Odenkirk. Yeah.
Is it the spin-off to Nobody?
I think it's the
No
spin-off of
or
Nobody. He literally is like, this town is just normal. And it all hell breaks loose, yeah.
Okay, so say you go and see Normal.
Yeah.
Right? And you sit down, you go to your theater, pre-assigned seating. You get your seat, you go, and there's not many other people in the theater. And I should preface, I read about someone having a situation like the hypothetical I'm about to give you. And in my mind, I was like, oh my Lord, I need to hear CJ's thoughts and how you would react.
Okay.
So you get tickets, you go and see, and you're sitting down and you're watching Normal. You're having a good time, right? About 20 minutes are left in the movie. A woman in her 80s walks in and walks up to you and says that you're in her seat. What do you do in this moment?
I'd tell her that she needs to step off because I'm not in anyone else's seat.
Okay, she then pulls up her phone and shows you tickets purchased for a showing of Normal, and she has the seat that you're in. But the showing is listed as the next showing.
I would tell her she's early.
And then she's like, yeah, I wanted to get here early to make sure I got a good seat. Then she sits next to you and asks you questions for the final 20 minutes about what's happening in the movie and trying to make sense
genuinely, I would get up and go to another seat.
Okay, she gets up and follows you.
I would literally, I don't know what I would do. This is making me angry. And your hypothetical is giving me like actual heartburn.
Oh my God.
Like, genuinely, I don't know how far away I am from just screaming at her. Like, I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm just like, okay, I think we're pretty close.
Oh my God. Yeah, I read about this happening to someone who was seeing Project Hail Mary. And an elderly woman came in to try to take their seat, and it was because it was for the next showing. Oh my God. So I think it's unlikely this were to happen at, what was it, Normal?
Yes, probably.
Mainly because, didn't you say that was like the only, oh no, Beast, that was the only, maybe that's what you got to do. You have to go see Beast to make sure no one shows up for the next showing because there's only the one showing on the day.
I don't know about you. There's a couple movies that I could end up going to see. I could go see Mile End Kicks.
Never even heard of that one.
Yeah, it's coming out. I don't know.
Oh wait, that's the one about that freaking Roderick from Roderick Rules is in that.
I don't know what Roderick Rules is.
Yeah, we've had this conversation before. He's Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Okay.
Roderick, Devin Bostick.
I believe
one of these days. One of these days.
The week after is when Michael comes out.
Yeah, your favorite movie.
That's not my favorite movie. You're gonna see it too.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
You see every movie that comes out.
No, I don't.
You do.
I don't. There's a lot of movies I haven't seen.
Okay. All right, you ready for my game?
No. Okay, now I am. Now I'm ready.
Okay. All right. So, you know how you're always on me about my snacks?
Yes.
So you've heard all my snacks, and presumably in editing, you've had to edit out my snacks, right?
Of course. Many times.
Yeah. Okay, so the game that we're going to play is I am going to have you... I have 5 snacks in front of me. Okay?
Okay.
You are going to listen to the sound that they make.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Okay? You get 3 chances. Each guess, I'll give you another hint about what it is.
Okay.
All right?
Okay. So we're going to do one at a time. I'm not going to have to listen to you eat 5 different things and then...
No, I'm not going to eat them. I'm going to make sound with them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're not going to do food ASMR. Not chewing ASMR. It's food ASMR. Okay. The first one, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, this is the first one. You hear that?
Oh, geez. Okay, yeah, it sounds just like a plastic wrapper, so this could be anything. Okay. Do I get to hear all of them, or one at a time?
You're gonna do one at a time.
Okay.
It's not it's the daily dialed, one at a time.
All right. So can you do it again?
Yep. Ready?
Okay. So I'm picking up. It's certainly a wrapper of some kind. And I'm hearing kind of like a papery wrapper. Maybe let's go M&Ms.
Okay. They are not M&Ms. Your first hint
Okay.
is the main ingredient is milk chocolate.
Okay, so when you say not when I guessed M&Ms, if it were like peanut M&Ms, would you have said like, yeah, close enough? Or it's a specific type of M&M?
It is not an M&M.
Okay.
Of any variety.
Okay. All right. So milk chocolate. And can I hear it again?
Yep.
See, I'm hearing enough air there to where I'm like, this sounds like a bag as opposed to like a Hershey's bar. So I'm trying to think of other milk chocolates that come in a bag. How about Reese's Pieces?
Reese's Pieces.
Yeah.
It is not Reese's Pieces.
Okay. Okay. I think I have my next guess, but if there,
would you like
there was
your
another
final hint?
Yeah.
Okay. Your final hint is this is produced by the Hershey Company.
Fuck. Okay. Hershey Company. So Reese's is still on the board.
Mm-hmm. What was your guess before I gave you that hint?
Reese's. My guess before that was going to be probably just a regular Reese's, but now I'm trying to make sure that there's nothing else it could be. Like maybe it's like a York peppermint patty, though I think that has a more foily wrapper than a papery one. So I think now the Reese's cups, they have a little bit of air to them as opposed to something like a Kit Kat. So I think final answer, I'm going to go with just a regular Reese's cup.
Tommy.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Oh my gosh.
It was a Reese's cup.
Oh, that's tough. Man, really tough. I certainly hear it. It was gettable. The papery texture of it, I think, is key. Okay.
Yeah.
Good practice one. I'm ready for the next snack.
Okay. Actually, Dayman and me talking the other day is the entire reason for this game. Because he said something that I was like, wow, that's really true. This is the next snack. You ready?
Wait, do I get to know what's really true?
At the end, I'll tell you.
Okay.
Also, these are all snacks that I've had while doing the podcast.
Of course. The litany of snacks that you insist you don't snack on during the podcast.
All right, you ready?
Yeah. Okay. So it's boxed of some kind. Could you give me one more shake?
Yep.
Okay. So boxed of some kind. Now, I know that your go-to snack is Raisinets, which unless you're getting like the big box or the big one, Raisinets is a box candy. But the contents of the box here sound much, much larger, stickier than Raisinets. Maybe, maybe I'm just tripping and I'm not hearing it right. Maybe I'm off base with what Raisinets might sound like, but I would anticipate there to be, I would say, more little things moving around, slightly higher in pitch and tone.
Sure.
The thing that I think it sounds like most, I'm going to preface this guess by saying I don't think this is going to be it, because you don't strike me as the type of person to really like this candy, but I'm going to go with Milk Duds.
It is not Milk Duds.
Okay.
Are you ready for your first clue?
I'm ready for my first clue.
The primary color of this box is yellow.
Okay. So, with that in mind, my second guess has to be Raisinets, because it's boxed candy, yellow box. Maybe it's something else, but I know you like Raisinets, so I gotta guess it.
Okay. It is not Raisinets.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Oh.
Okay. Your final guess. This candy has artificial flavor and red 40.
Red 40. Okay. All right. Could I hear again, please?
Yep.
I think I have a guess, but I want to hear it again. Okay. So, I think the red 40 is the big telltale here, the big flag for me. I think that this is going to be Swedish Fish, which come in a box, though it's a bag in a box, but I think that they could make that kind of dampened noise that we're kind of hearing. So I'm going to go Swedish Fish.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Tommy.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Oh, okay.
And you're 100% right. There is a plastic bag inside the box.
Yeah, I feel like I can kind of pick up on the sound of the plastic bag inside the box, but solely because I know to listen for it now.
Okay, you ready for number 3?
Number 3, hit me with it. I'm ready.
All right, you ready?
Yeah. Okay. I'm again hearing a box, and I'm hearing some lighter tones, so now I'm going to go with Raisinets again.
It is not Raisinets.
Fuck. Okay, I'm ready for the first hint.
Okay, the first hint is pretzel.
Pretzel. Okay, could I hear it again?
Yep.
Okay, that's sounding much more like a bag now than before.
I held it a different way.
Okay, could I hear it one more time, please?
Yep, I'm going to hold it the same way.
Okay, so these are just snacks, not strictly candy, correct?
I would say all of them fall into the you would get this in the candy or the snacks on the way into the theater.
Okay.
These are all in the concession. I'm not going to have like a bag of nuts here.
Okay, I hear. So, because when I hear pretzel and then hearing that, my mind kind of went to dots, but they don't really do those in like candy aisles or snack aisles. So, dots not the dots pretzels, not dots the little jujubes or whatever they're called.
Yes.
So, okay, one more shake, please.
Yep.
Okay. I'm hearing a bag, and I'm hearing some bigger things move around. So that makes me think that this might be Flips dipped like chocolate covered pretzels.
Ooh. It is not.
Fuck.
Okay. Your last hint is 1 serving size is 1 ounce, or about 12 pieces. This container has 7 servings per container.
Oh, geez. Okay. 7. Huh. 7 servings per container, 1 ounce per serving. 12 pieces.
12. Yep.
Oh, geez. I guess what I'm at now is trying to figure out trying to think of what pretzel candies there are. The only one I can really think of aside from Flips are pretzel M&Ms, which do come in bags. 12 per serving. Okay, I think I'm just gonna have. If it's not a chocolate covered pretzel, I'm gonna go with the pretzel M&Ms.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer. I have no clue what else this could be if it's not pretzel M&Ms.
Tommy.
Yeah.
It is pretzel M&Ms.
Oh my gosh. That I've got to be real. The first shake you did of it sounded so much like a box.
Once you said that, I was like, oh, I should hold this a different way. So I held it kind of like a handle.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah,
all right.
there are certain jimmies that you're giving it that certainly make it sound like a box. It's interesting. Ready.
This is number 4. You're 3 for 3 so far.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah. Oh. If that's not the sound of a raisinette, I don't know what is.
That's your final answer?
Final answer.
That is correct.
Oh, hey, I was going to get it one of these times.
The conversation Dayman had was, you're eating raisinettes, huh? And I was like, how could you tell? He was like, there's literally nothing else it could be. The sound of a box of raisinettes is just raisinettes.
So for me, typically, I can tell what you're snacking on because I can hear you chewing it. So maybe next time we'll have to do the ASMR.
I thought it was a little gross to do that. But...
It's maybe a little gross, a little far to do.
All right, last one. You ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, interesting. Okay, much smaller. So my mind goes to 2 places. It goes to Tic Tacs and Nerds. I'm gonna go with Nerds.
Okay. That is incorrect.
Okay.
Your first hint: the primary ingredient is milk chocolate.
Milk chocolate. Whoa. Okay. Could I hear it again, please?
Yep.
Okay. Is this by chance mini M&Ms?
Tommy.
Yeah.
It is, in fact, mini M&Ms. You swept the snack pool.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to be real. Getting it in 3, I think that your final clues were really good in making sure I didn't fail any of them while still being not giveaways. So I would say I maybe got like 2 of those in actuality, being the Raisinets and mini M&Ms, but good game.
Thank you.
Good game.
I didn't want you to not get it because you're like so far out in the fucking weeds. Like you're thinking about goddamn like, oh, is he eating sassafras? It's like, no, it's like, you know, it's a regular thing that we would eat. So
this was a good one. I like this one.
Thank you.
Well, now you're going to have to restock on completely different snacks.
I know. But I'm a creature of habit, you know? All right. So actually, the thing I wanted to mention is that my local theater is doing a summer camp program this year. where
yeah?
every week they're going to have $2 tickets on certain movies.
Ooh.
So here's the lineup for the movies, okay? Gabby's Dollhouse the movie.
Okay.
K-pop Demon Hunters,
Okay.
which I might actually go into theaters to see. I haven't seen it.
That's a good one.
The Bad Guys 2.
Okay. Big fan of The Bad Guys 1. Never got around to watching The Bad Guys 2, but I'll say nice to that.
Charlie the Wonder Dog.
Charlie the Wonder Dog. What? Oh, CJ. You might have to go see this.
Why? Who's in it?
I don't know, but look at this picture. I searched up Charlie the Wonder Dog, and one of the first things I'm getting is a dog flying in air, squeezing some ketchup onto a dog while he's flying.
He's
This
got
guy
some
looks
mustard
like,
on there.
you know, I'm not sure. Oh, and here's another one where he's checking out his own ass. I mean...
He's not fucking with me either. These are real stills from the movie. How about Hotel Transylvania 3?
Okay, I think I've seen parts of that one.
Sing, the original Sing.
All right.
Goat, which is the basketball movie.
I heard that one's not bad.
And it ends with The Wild Robot.
Oh, nice.
So I'm sitting here like, man, there's a couple of movies here where I'm like, $2 movies, I don't know.
Yeah. The only thing to be aware of, I would say, is if you're going to go to, like, say, K-pop Demon Hunters, you know, you might have a lot of singing at the theater, especially considering the movie's been around for, you know, been out for long enough to where, like, you know, people know every word to every song. So I would say just, you know, maybe be aware of that. You might hear a lot of children singing along.
Okay.
But otherwise, I think that that's a great idea. You should go to all of them, especially Charlie the Wonder Dog.
Well, we might have to see about Charlie the Wonder Dog. But you know what actually is wonderful? We watched a movie recently.
We did?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Well, why don't you cue me in onto what movie it was by telling me your general thoughts on it?
Bueller.
The line that you were like, yeah, people always quote that to me, so I don't know what that's gonna be. And then it's like within the first 2 minutes, you're like, wait, this is it? This is the quote?
Like, it didn't have the same kind of oomph. So I don't know.
Well, what'd you think?
I really liked it.
Yeah?
I really enjoyed it. I don't know what you thought I was going to think going in, but I will say I actually like this one. I thought this one held up pretty okay. There were some parts of it where I'm like, geez. And even though some of it's a little corny or whatever, I liked it.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you said. It's corny at times, but it really works. I think this one holds up really, really well. In my prediction in the pre-show, if I remember correctly, I said, I think that you're going to like this, though I think that there's going to be a couple moments where you're like kind of cringing at like, geez, about to get caught or something like that. The scenes that came to my mind were when they went to the French restaurant and they were doing all of that, all of the shenanigans with like dining there and whatnot, or like them going to the Cubs game and being on TV briefly. Not to get like too into the plot, but I thought that there were going to be a couple, or you know, the whole deal with what happens with Cameron at the very end of like the last time we see him. I thought that might be hard to watch, or just like watch through your fingers kind of moment. But yeah, no, I thought that you were going to like this. I think that's why I was so excited for us to eventually watch this on the show. It was just because I think that this is a important movie in the canon of American film.
Yeah, I think I can definitely see how that is. And I don't have any one particular objection to it.
Cool. Well, how about we start getting a bit more into the weeds and talking about the actual plot? I'll walk us through and summarize. CJ, feel free to interrupt at any point or, do your thing.
Do my thing. Hey.
All right. So, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. We have a few main players. The main person, of course, is the titular Ferris Bueller, played by Matthew Broderick. His best friend is named Cameron. He is played by Alan Ruck. And Ferris Bueller's girlfriend is Sloane. She is played by Mia Sara. Ferris also has a sister named Jeannie, played by Jennifer Grey. He has his parents as well. There's also the school's principal. I think he's the last really important character. Yeah. The school's principal, or dean, Rooney is his name, played by the rotten hell Jeffrey Jones.
Boo!
Yeah, boo that guy. But okay, so those are our main players. The movie opens with Ferris Bueller in bed, feigning an illness, tricking his parents into him being sick. He breaks the fourth wall a lot in this film. It's very, if you've never seen this, but you're more familiar with but you grew up with children's media in the 2000s, it's very Ned's Declassified. Ned's Declassified is very much in the same lane as Ferris Bueller, with him turning to camera and giving advice to the viewer, talking about, just random tips. So his whole deal is he is playing hooky today to cheer up his best friend, Cameron. Cameron is I think the easiest way to explain it, he's in a very depressive state. All he does is lay in bed and dread. He doesn't like going to school. He takes a lot of medicine, and he just doesn't like getting up. So, Ferris, if anyone needs a day off, it's Cameron. So Ferris is organizing this whole day we're about to go on to help out Cameron. So he does he has a bunch of things for actually playing hooky, things that range from having access to the school's intranet and being able to change how many absences he has, to having a bunch of ways, he makes phone calls to the school and does voices, or has Cameron do voices. He's really got things figured out. There's already rumors spreading at the school that he's really sick, that he passed out at a 31 Flavors the night before and he's gonna die, which kicks off this entire campaign at the school of people collecting money to hashtag Save Ferris, and Save Ferris blows up throughout the course of this movie. This movie takes place over the span of one day. It starts at 7 a.m. or so and ends at around 6 p.m. And in that time, the Save Ferris movement, it's published in the newspaper somehow. It's up on a water tower. It's on the marquee at Wrigley Field. It blows up. But the entire time that they are playing hooky, which I should say, they end up borrowing Cameron's dad's very nice Ferrari. Cameron's dad has a Ferrari that he loves more than anything in life. He restored it from the ground up. There's only 100 of these cars. And Cameron is we can't do anything with this car or my dad's gonna kill me. He even knows the mileage. But Ferris is able to somehow convince Cameron to take it out, because Ferris is just that kind of friend. The one who he's persistent and hard to say no to. That
is you, by the way.
See, and that's why it's perfect that I'm Ferris and you're Cameron, because you sing "Let My Cameron Go."
Oh. Yep.
Yeah. So they go to the school. They call ahead and pretend to be Sloane, Ferris's girlfriend. They pretend to be her dad to get her out of school. They go and pick her up. The whole time Rooney is very suspicious of Ferris and thinks like, oh, Ferris Bueller, he's playing hooky. He's behind this somehow. He's making calls, trying to get in touch with Ferris's parents. That doesn't really work in his favor. He thinks that Ferris is actually Sloane's father on the phone, but Ferris is able to embarrass him because Cameron is the one on the phone. Needless to say, they're able to break Sloane out of school, go and pick her up. Ferris like dresses up like he's Inspector Gadget, which is funny since Matthew Broderick would go on to actually play Inspector Gadget, and like he kisses Sloane in front of the principal, and the principal's like, oh, so that's how it is in that family. Anyway, the kids, Ferris, Cameron, Sloane, they drive out to the city of Chicago. That's right. This is one of the Chicago films. I would say that this is the Chicago film. They drive out there and they go to a parking garage where Ferris drops off the car with this dude who he slips him a $5, a Finsky, as he says, to watch the car special for them for the day. The dude ends up just taking it out on a joyride throughout the course of the movie with his buddy. And the kids pretty much go off and get up to a bunch of shenanigans in the city that range from going to the top of the Sears Tower and looking down to going to the stock exchange to conning their way into reservations at a fancy French restaurant, again doing more phone call shenanigans. They go to a Cubs game. They go to the Art Institute. Ferris dances in a parade. They really get up to a bunch of things, all the while Rooney, the dean, is trying to expose Ferris by way of like showing up to Ferris's house and breaking in to prove Ferris isn't sick. Ferris's sister Jeannie also, she is a very Candace from Phineas and Ferb attitude of like, my brother, I'm gonna get him busted, and she's like fed up with all of the Save Ferris stuff. Ferris's parents, his dad is in the city for work, and they cross paths with him a couple times from like him being at the French restaurant to being in the taxi cab next to them. They're just, narrowly getting away all of the time. Back at Ferris's home, there's also an entire thing where Jeannie and Rooney have a encounter where like Jeannie is there and is like, aha, Ferris, he's faking sick because he has a mannequin in his bed with a snoring sound bite playing in his speakers to trick his parents into thinking he's home sleeping if they stop by at all, which his mom did. So Jeannie's like, I'm going to get you, Ferris. But then also she sees Rooney there and like she kicks him, and Rooney's just getting beat up this whole time.
Like fucking Chun-Li, dude. She face kicked him like, wah, wah, wah.
Like, yeah, 3 times in a row. Rooney has seen better days. He is like covered in mud from crawling around outside. He lost a shoe. He's been attacked by a dog. Yeah, fucking good. That's putting it lightly. His car gets towed. Throughout the course of the day, Ferris, Sloane, again, this is all for Cameron that Ferris is doing this, and he's really trying to get Ferris out of a funk. Get Cameron out of a funk. So they end up eventually going back to the parking garage and getting the car back, and Cameron's surprised that it's still in one piece, but they realize, oh no, the miles are really high. Like, instead of them having driven 20 miles total, it's like 180 miles over what the odometer is 180 miles over what it should be. Which, man, were those dudes having the time of their life in this car if they drove 180 miles in like 5 hours around Chicago. That is impressive. So Cameron now like goes full on catatonic. He is absolutely stunned. So Ferris and Sloane like are trying to get through to him, and Ferris is really ruminating on like, no, Cameron, he needs to break out of this because otherwise he is going to let people walk over him for the rest of his life, and he's going to be treated like shit, and he's going to be treated how he doesn't deserve. He needs to be able to stand up for himself. And Ferris is like, maybe this thing with the car really sucks, but it shouldn't be the end of the world. It's not going to be end all be all. Cameron is going to be okay. He needs to be able to get through this. So they go and like go to a random backyard and hang out in the pool for a while. And meanwhile, Jeannie, she's at the police station because of Rooney breaking into the house. She's like reporting the crime and whatnot. She runs into Charlie Sheen there. He essentially gives her a therapy crash course, and she kind of she's like, man, maybe I need to not, thinking to herself, maybe I shouldn't be so obsessed with what Ferris is doing and focus on myself. Meanwhile, Ferris and co, they have brought the Ferrari back to Cameron's house. It is in the garage, and they're trying to run back the odometer, which for any younger listeners, on older cars, the odometer went up when you drove forward, and it went down when you drove backwards. That's just how the odometer worked. This is only really on like really old cars, to the point where it doesn't work on this Ferrari from the 60s. And they're like, oh, fuck. How are we going to do this? And Ferris is like, you know what? I'll pop open the odometer. It'll be okay. I'll roll it back by hand. And Cameron's like, you know what? No. You know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to stand up to my dad. He's been on my ass all this time, but you know what? He's not the problem. I'm the problem. I've been letting him walk all over me. You know what? Screw him. Screw my dad and his stupid car. I'm not going to sit on my ass and let life come at me. I'm going to defend myself. But in his frustration, Cameron starts kicking the car. And the car is up on a jack with a brick on the reverse pedal to, have it be constantly going. And he kicks it, and it falls off the jack and drives out of the garage and crashes down into like a little ravine below them. Or the garage is elevated, it's lifted, so it falls like 20 feet, 30 feet, and just gets wrecked.
Yeah, Cameron lives in the Ex Machina house.
Certainly all of these like students, very well off families. He's by far the richest of these families.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So, the Cameron's like, I'm gonna stand up to, like, yeah, he's in a deep pile of shit. But Cameron is ultimately like, you know what? Like Ferris is like, oh, dude, this is all my fault. I will take the blame. And Cameron's like, you know what? No, this is on me. Cameron, I could have said no to you taking me out. Like, I could have stopped you. This is on me. I'm going to own this. And Cameron kind of like comes to a resolution in his arc. Meanwhile, Ferris and Sloane, they're like, kissy kissy. I like you. He's going to marry me. We're going to get married. But then Ferris is like, all right, shit, I got to get home because it's almost 6:00. And that's when my parents are getting home and I need to be home by then. So then this begins a mad chase through the neighborhood. Ferris is cutting through houses and backyards. His sister and mom are driving through the neighborhood in one car, and his sister Jeannie's like, I'm gonna get him, I just have to beat him home. So she's racing him. The dad is driving through the neighborhood, unknowingly getting very close to discovering Ferris. He thinks he sees him at one point, but Ferris makes it home right as Jeannie and mom get home, and he goes to let himself in through the back door using the spare key, but the spare key's gone. Oh no, it's being handed to him. Oh, Rooney has the spare key. And he's like, Ferris Bueller, I've caught you. How about I hold you back a year and you repeat? Ha ha. And because I knew you weren't sick, you've been playing hooky. And Jeannie sees and overhears this happening from inside the house, and she opens the back door to be right there with them. She's like, oh my God, Ferris, we've been worried sick about you. Oh, she turns to Rooney like, can you believe this kid taking a walk around the neighborhood with a whatever fever? Man, Ferris, get inside. She she and Ferris have this bonding moment. She sticks up for him and helps him hold up this lie. Kind of, again, full circle for her, having this growth and now worrying about her own shit. And Ferris is able to get back in bed and turn off his speakers with a last-second baseball throw to be not caught by his parents. They get home like, oh, Ferris, how are you doing? He's like, I'm feeling a bit better. And then he smiles at the camera. And that's that's Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Wow. That might be a record for the fastest we've ever done a recap.
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't feel it was too necessary to go into the details of all of their endeavors and the phone shenanigans they get up to. Of first, Ferris hops on the phone and dials the other landline at the French restaurant, which the maitre d' goes to answer, and then when he's over there, he pretends to be the cops. But then Sloane calls, and it didn't feel worth it. But yeah, Ferris Bueller. So we were talking about how we enjoyed it, but CJ, when you think about this movie, what's the first thing that's been coming to your mind in the last week?
Bueller. No,
really?
I didn't think this was going to be Home Alone for Mr. Rooney at the house, because he spends all day,
man, and he's fighting a ghost and losing.
He gets, like, the dog gets him, the mud gets his shoe, like, because the fucking Buellers have a fucking sinkhole.
That's right.
Next to their fucking faucet. That'll lead to foundation damage.
Yeah.
No, it's just like a whole fucking thing, right? So he the at the end, I didn't realize that was Ferris Bueller, but I've seen that 100 times. The running through the backyard thing at the end.
Yeah. Good soundtrack.
Yeah. All the stuff that he did, like, they had a fucking day off. I don't know how they got it all in one day. It's like they had a week.
Yeah. As someone, I mean, maybe it was easier in 1986, especially when things were a bit cheaper. But yeah, wildly impressive to go to. Let's see. Let me run through all of the things that they did. So first, of course, school starts, and it's not like they're getting their day started at 8 a.m. This is at like 9 or 10 a.m. that they pick up Sloane. They drive into the city, which probably takes them like 20, 30 minutes tops from where they live. They park the car. Then they go to the Sears Tower. That's going to take a little bit to ride the elevator up. Then they go to Wall Street, which I guess not terribly far from the Sears Tower. Then they go to the French restaurant, and that's at noon, right? There was like a noon reservation that they did.
Yep.
So I'd say pretty packed morning.
They went to the
but
museum.
Doable. Yeah, so that's after lunch. So let's assume like an hour for lunch, right? So 1 p.m., they go to the Cubs game. Cubs games start at 1:20. So they could have hopped in a cab or hopped on the red line, taken that up to Wrigley. You probably get there right around game start. The seats look a little empty. I'm sure if we did some closer analysis, we could figure out about how far into the game they were, but that's besides the point. Let's say they stick at the game for like, what would you guess, an hour or two?
Yeah, they could not have been there the whole time.
Yeah, definitely not. So let's say they stay there for like an hour. They leave at like 2:30-ish, take the red line back down, because then they go to the Art Institute, which is back by where they started. Because Wrigley's pretty far north in the city in the grand scheme of things. So going into the Art Institute at like 3 o'clock, Art Institute's big. You've been there. That shit's big.
We were there for like 2 or 3 hours when we went.
I think even longer. And we walked a ton.
Yeah, I gave up at one point.
Yeah. And so, okay, they do all of that. Then they go to a parade, which I feel like at this point, it's like probably 4:30. Like they are getting there. And then on top of it, they still have the drive home. They have all of the hanging out at the pool. They have all of the shit at Cameron's with running the miles back. They absolutely speed ran their day in Chicago. It was wildly impressive. I think that CJ, next time you're in town, we should try and do a Ferris Bueller and try and do all of the things that they did. It would only run us like $500.
I remember I went to Chicago and we parked at the Bean. and we walked to Navy Pier, and then we went to the Museum of Modern Art, which is up by Navy Pier, and then we walked back to the Bean. And that took us like 8 hours.
Well, when you did this, I do think it's important to mention that when you went to the Museum of Contemporary Art
Contemporary
and Navy Pier, you did not you got lost while walking to Navy Pier.
Yes, so we got stuck in some apartment complex. And then the next thing I know, I'm under a bridge.
Yeah, it's like a 25-minute walk or so, and it took you guys over an hour.
Oh, yeah. Yep. On the way back was worse because we tried just walking straight back, not the way that we came.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're just walking through like all of the foot traffic.
We
heard lots of people playing the buckets, the Home Depot buckets.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, those guys rule.
Yeah, there were many people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your experience just goes to show, like, yeah, it's incredible how much they did in this.
Oh,
day.
yeah.
Do you think that they made any trades while they were at the stock market, by the way? Maybe picking up some like early Apple stock or something?
Ooh, maybe. Ferris Bueller's Day Off 2 is him as he's like a fucking boomer.
So I did want to bring up Ferris Bueller's Day Off and the idea of follow-ups. Did you know that Ferris Bueller's Day Off actually had a spin-off television show?
No, I've never heard of it.
So it debuted in 1990. They aired, I want to say, so it's 13 episodes. They aired the first 12 episodes, canceled it, and aired the final 13th episode a year later from when they aired the first episode. The cast, Charlie Schlatter played Ferris Bueller, but more notably, Jennifer Aniston played Jeannie.
Oh.
Yeah. I want to say that you can find that. I don't think this is lost media. I do think you can find copies of this online somewhere to watch. I've never watched it myself. From what I understand, not very great, though it is something that a lot of people did not know existed.
Yeah, it's interesting. So it like ratings wise, it didn't do well. But like the first episode had 23 million people watch, which isn't like crazy, but
At
it's
least not for 1990. In 2026, if a show premiered with that rating, it'd be the #1 show on TV.
Yeah, they made the decision to pull this after week 4. Week 4 had 17 million viewers.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, the final episode had a 4.7 rating. But like, you know, it's not like, it's just crazy, right? It's just crazy.
And those 4.7 million people were probably elated to finally find out whether or not Ferris and Cameron can survive their eventful night while trying to churn out an important class paper.
You know what's funny? They moved the show because the movie's in Chicago. You know where the show took place?
No, I don't. Where?
Santa Monica.
Of course, because, I mean, how else would they be able to justify all the palm trees in Chicago?
Yeah, exactly. They're just like, hey, we're going to film on the Paramount backlot. Okay. Yeah,
probably using like a Saved by the Bell set.
Yeah, it's all right, because I'm Saved by the Bell.
Wow.
Jennifer Aniston, wow.
Yeah. Pre-Friends.
Yeah, exactly. Pre-Friends. Pre-everything. That was 10 years before she married Brad Pitt.
Wow.
Yeah.
So getting back to Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and not just Ferris Bueller, the spin-off show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Okay. What do I want to ask first? When I asked what you've been thinking about, you went with the Bueller.
Of course.
So that quote, you know, I told the story of you hearing it for the first time in the movie. How do you feel about the quote now, having heard it so many times and knowing the full context surrounding it? Is it something that you might say yourself?
I can understand why that's a memorable quote, right? I don't know why people were saying it to me like once I got the joke. It was going to be the funniest shit I ever heard.
Mm-hmm.
Like, am I wrong?
I don't think so. I think that it's one of those things that of all of the things in Ferris Bueller that have been propagated through pop culture, that's probably number one.
Okay.
So that's probably why people went to it. But yeah, no, I'm with you. Like, it's such a weird quote to just say, like, oh, you're gonna see Ferris Bueller. Just it's almost like freaking Marty McFly. Maybe too soon for you, but your kids are gonna love this, you know?
Or like, nobody calls me chicken. Like,
yeah,
like that's supposed to be like a big line. It's like, okay, I mean, I guess.
So
I don't know.
On that note of quotes, were there any quotes in this other than Bueller that have stuck with you?
His opening monologue was pretty good. It's not quotable, but that was a good one.
Yeah, I think just on that opening monologue, I think the two big quotes from that are, how can I possibly be expected to handle school on a day like this?
Yes.
And then what I think is like the most important quote from the film, and probably most popular that isn't a comedic one, is life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you can miss it. Because that's very much like a central theme to the movie too.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, sorry, I interrupted you beyond the opening monologue.
I think, honestly, the economics teacher, his better line is, anyone, the Holly Smoot tariff act, which, anyone, raised or lowered?
Anyone? Yeah, the anyone, I think, gets me now that you're talking about it.
I asked for a car and got a computer. How's that for being born under a bad sign?
I forgot about that one. And that one gets brought up again later where Jeannie's like, yeah, why am I jealous of Ferris? I got a car, he got a computer.
The end where he's like, you're still here, it's over, go home.
Yeah, the post-credit scene.
Yeah.
Two that stick out to me are, pardon my French, but you're an asshole.
Yeah, no, that whole sequence with Cameron was really funny.
Oh, so good.
Doesn't Cameron say something like, he never even drives it, he just rubs it with a diaper?
Yes, he rubs it, yes, when talking about the dad's love for the Ferrari.
Yeah.
The other Cameron quote that I absolutely love from this that I say to people, but sub out for their name, is, Ferris Bueller, you're my hero.
Yeah, no, I think I don't know that I've retained quotes, but I like it. I think that there's definitely some memorable things. That the line that stuck with me from the opening thing was, not that I condone fascism or any ism for that matter. Isms, in my opinion, are not good. A person should not believe in an ism. He should believe in himself. I did, and this movie actually jogged this memory. In junior year, I took public speaking in high school, and that was a big thing for me. It started me on a big journey. And actually, my scholarships that paid for my college was because I won a public speaking scholarship. Because I won a competition. And in my junior year, I was in a class with all seniors, and this kid in my class, who I don't remember his name, honestly, I couldn't pick him out of a lineup, but I think he looked like Simply the streamer.
Okay.
If he told me, hey, we had public speaking, I'd be like, together like 20 years ago, I'd be like, okay, who are you? But he did the opening monologue as a speech for class, and he was so fucking terrible. The teacher was like, have you ever seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Like, it was so bad that it was like, okay, this isn't what it sounds like at all. You don't have any cadence, you don't have any rhythm. Like,
he's
pick something else.
Have I seen what? He doesn't
exactly.
know about that movie.
Literally, he's like, he said it like, not that I condone fascism or any ism, for that matter. Isms, in my opinion, are not good. A person should not believe in an ism. They should believe in themselves. And it's just like, okay, you did a bad beat here. That you need to like go back and like figure this out. You need to go in the locker room, halftime, make some adjustments.
Yeah,
she made him go back up the next day.
You gotta go into the locker room, listen to the motivational speeches from the movies Miracle and Any Given Sunday, and then go back and give them hell, kid who looks like Simply the Streamer.
I fell out of my chair.
You fell out of your chair? Are you okay?
I'm okay.
Are you you sure?
The chair flew backwards. I was sitting on the edge of the chair and I leaned forward and the chair like shot out from behind me. And then I'm just sitting on the floor like, what do I do now?
Are you back in your chair now?
I'm back in my chair. I heard everything that you said, but I was just like, what do I do?
All right, on this episode, Chair 1, CJ 0, bringing the running column up to CJ 2, Chair 1.
God. I thought that you've mentioned this a few times about movies that really represent Chicago well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that relationship with New York City. Like, I just don't. There are people that like don't live in New York that have been to New York City more than I have. That's less true than it used to be. Up until I was like 20, I'd only been to New York City twice. So I've been to I go to the Bronx more for the games, for the Yankee games. I don't necessarily go to Manhattan. I've only been to Manhattan a handful of times. So it's not like I have this affinity for all the trappings in New York City. But you've talked about movies that really represent Chicago well, and you've talked about that in the context of Ferris Bueller. You talked about that, the Blues Brothers. Are there other movies that do Chicago well? And what specifically do you think about Ferris Bueller is a good representation of Chicago?
Okay, good question. When I think of Chicago films, just touching on that first, I think of The Fugitive, Blues Brothers, we already talked about, Rookie of the Year, that's a great one. While You Were Sleeping, The Sting, though that one is Chicago, but also suburbs, like it goes out to Aurora. Primal Fear, I think, does Chicago pretty well, just because I think it deals a lot with the church, which the church is a big part of Chicago, like very strong religious communities in the city that I feel aren't often represented on screen. I guess one last one I'll name is Candyman. That one also pretty solid Chicago film. But with Ferris Bueller, I think that I think one of the big things that makes it such a great Chicago film is how much ground they cover. Like, we talk about it, we already talked about how much that they get up to, but like they are really hitting the highlight reel of Chicago. You got Wrigley Field, the Art Institute, the Sears Tower, the Stock Exchange. Like, there are only a handful of things that they could have gone to that are like more, I would say, stereotypically Chicago than that. And I think that it's a movie that a lot of times whenever something takes place in Chicago, you can tell it wasn't filmed there. But even like just shots of them walking down the road or driving around, like, it's like, no, this was filmed in Chicago. Like, it's like, oh yeah, that's Michigan Ave. Oh, yep, I've walked by that restaurant. Yep, I know exactly where they are right now. So that sense of familiarity to someone who's, you know, grown up here, I think that that's big. And I think that this is less on the movie's part, but just culturally, I think that in Chicago, Ferris Bueller is it's really that and Blues Brothers are the big two that if you were to ask random people quick, like if you did Billy Eichner Man on the Street to people, and people don't seize up and struggle to name a single woman like they do on Man on the Street. I think that Ferris Bueller and Blues Brothers will be the two that most people will say.
Okay.
It's just the combination of everything that I said, but plus it's just established itself in the cultural zeitgeist here very well.
Yeah.
What do you talked a bit about your relationship to New York and how you wouldn't quite say you're a New York City person, but I am curious, with your experiences in New York, is there a movie that in your mind is like, oh, that's the New York film? And I understand that might be hard to answer because New York is like the American city for film, not in terms of production, but in terms of setting.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. There's so many that you could pick.
I feel like Goodfellas portrays some of like the it does organized crime, but it also shows a lot of like the various things of like the thing about the scene where she goes to see Jimmy the gent, his Henry Hill's wife, and he sends her down to that corner store, and she can tell if she goes in there she's gonna fucking die. Like, there are some places you walk and you're just like, oh, someone definitely died in there. Everything being covered in those green fucking things. But also like the Copa and,
Wait, what do you mean everything being covered in those green fucking things?
When you walk down the streets, they have like these coverings on the sides of the buildings when they're working on them, like scaffolding.
Oh, okay.
And they have like green things they put on the sides of it. I don't even know if that's in Goodfellas, but I think that Goodfellas does like a good job with like the juxtaposing like the the highs with the lows. I think A Bronx Tale does really good with like portraying neighborhood life, because everything is about what's in your neighborhood down there, and they, like, someone explained it to me once that they have a grocery store 10 blocks away and that's 5 blocks too far. Like, having to take the subway one stop over to go to the grocery store, and people do it, but he ended up going a different way to go to a smaller store that didn't really have everything that he wanted, but it was 4 or 5 blocks away from his house, his apartment. But I feel like just like depicting the culture of a neighborhood, A Bronx Tale does really well. When Harry Met Sally, I feel like it really captures a specific flavor of New York pre 9/11, I think. And Uncut Gems, funny enough, I think does New York pretty okay.
Why do you say funny enough?
Because I don't think that movie is that good. I think that movie got a lot of shine, but I also don't think of it as immediately as a New York City movie.
Okay. What about like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man? Because it does have the, hey, you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us, which I think has become the go-to New York thing in a movie.
Maybe like, I mean, I know people have talked about the Spider-Man movies. Sex and the City probably does New York better than Spider-Man. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna lock in with those.
Okay.
Like I said, difficult because New York's not really my town.
So yeah, and there's also, like we said, so many movies to pick from. Like
Friends, I feel like did Manhattan okay.
Wait, Friends starring the
Jennifer
star
Aniston.
of Ferris Bueller, the TV show?
Yeah. Pivoting away from New York really quick. This is a John Hughes movie, right?
Yeah.
Rest in peace, John Hughes. Unless he's a piece of shit, then fuck him. Which I feel like you just have to do these days. What did he... So he did... he directed and wrote 16 Candles.
Mm-hmm.
The Breakfast Club.
Mm-hmm.
Weird Science.
Mm-hmm.
I think
he Pretty in Pink.
Did he write Pretty in Pink? I don't think he directed Pretty in Pink.
Correct.
He wrote and directed Ferris Bueller.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote and directed Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Mm-hmm. And this is all in like a 3 or 4 year span, worth mentioning.
Yeah. Like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles was 87, 16 Candles was 84.
Mm-hmm.
Great Outdoors, he wrote. That's the Dan Aykroyd, John Candy movie.
Yes, that is a classic in my family.
Uncle Buck, he wrote and directed. And then I feel like, I don't know what he else did. So that's 89. I think he wrote Christmas Vacation, European Vacation. I think he wrote the National Lampoon's Vacation movie. He wrote Home Alone.
Yeah.
And produced it.
Yeah, that's kind of that's end of the 80s is kind of where his run as a director comes to an end, and he mostly just is a writer from there on out.
Which, fair enough. But that's a great run. Now I'm going to tell you something.
You've not seen like any of those.
I haven't seen 16 Candles. I never saw The Breakfast Club. I never saw any of the National Lampoon movies. I've never seen Weird Science. I never saw Pretty in Pink. I saw the first 5 minutes of Pretty in Pink. I never saw Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I never saw Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I never saw The Great Outdoors. I've never seen Uncle Buck.
So I have seen most of these, and I'm going to be real. I'm not the biggest fan of John Hughes films. I love Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
Great Outdoors, I have nostalgia for, with it being a family classic. Mm-hmm. I love Christmas Vacation. Again, that's just one that he wrote. Absolutely love that. That's one of my favorite Christmas movies. But like 16 Candles, I don't like. Breakfast Club, I don't like. Weird Science, wasn't the biggest fan. And I just think that a lot of his movies haven't aged quite well. Namely like 16 Candles and Breakfast Club, which in my mind those are like the John Hughes films, is 16 Candles, Breakfast Club, and then like Ferris Bueller. I think that, I think that 16 Candles is more of what I'm about to talk about than Breakfast Club, but contains a lot of things that I just don't think have aged well. The way that certain things are viewed, like sexual assault and like racism, a lot of things are in that sphere played for laugh in those movies, particularly 16 Candles. So it's a bit of a tough watch these days because of, what we view as acceptable now compared to then. And it's always important to try to meet a movie at, where it's at and when it came out and keep that in mind contextually. But it's just one of those things. It's like, it feels like the movie is largely based around that. Again, especially 16 Candles. Maybe this is just beef I have with 16 Candles. Where it's hard for me to move past that. It's kind of like how it's just, it's hard to watch it and walk with a good taste in your mouth. And Breakfast Club, I feel this a little bit. With Breakfast Club, though, I'm going to be real. I just think Breakfast Club is a boring ass movie. It's a bunch of kids sitting in detention. How fun could that actually be? And I've seen it. It's not fun.
I get what you're saying. For me, there's significant overlap here with what we're talking about with the Brat Pack.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, the Brat Pack is Emilio Estevez, Rob Lowe, Demi Moore, Judd Nelson, Molly Ringwald, Anthony Michael Hall, Ali Sheedy, and there's someone I'm forgetting, I'm sure. But, like, The Outsiders, 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club, St. Elmo's Fire, Pretty in Pink, like, all those movies are Brat Pack films. And I like a lot of those people, but I don't like all of those people.
Mm-hmm.
Rob Lowe is probably my favorite.
You're much more of a fan of the Frat Pack.
I don't know who the Frat Pack is.
Oh, that's Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson, Will Ferrell, Steve Carell, that group.
Oh, Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd.
Yeah. Like the Judd Apatow early Wes Anderson sphere.
You're right. I don't like that.
Right. You absolutely love that first Wes Anderson movie I don't even remember the name of. Rushmore?
They are making... Hang on. Yes, Rushmore. They are making another Fokker movie. They are making Fokker-in-Law.
So we're gonna do all of the Fokker films in lead up to this, and then go to a drive-in together on November 25th, 2026 to see it and record our commentary track from inside of a car.
God, I hope not.
Oh wow, Ariana Grande is in it.
That might save it. I like her a lot as someone in film. I do like her a lot.
She is really great, especially in comedic roles.
Every time that she's been on SNL, I've really laughed.
Mm.
You know, it's funny. Like it's weird because you grow up watching people on TV that are a little older than you are, and like you're like, wow, this is like someone I have a crush on, right? Like for me, it was like the women who did like wrestling, like WWE. So like Tori Wilson or Trish Stratus, and then like I used to watch Sabrina the Teenage Witch, so like Melissa Joan Hart, you know, Sex and the City used to be on TBS. I'd like my mom would watch that, and I'd be like, "Ooh, Sarah Jessica Parker." I had a type, I guess, and then there was a point where I'm like, "Is this person?" I'm like, "Oh, all these people are a lot older than I am," and then at some point. It's like, oh, Ariana Grande, she's attractive. And then I'm like, let me double check how old she is. Good. Age appropriate. It feels good to think Ariana Grande is attractive. She was born 3 months before I was. We're very okay. You know? Like Selena Gomez. I had to double check Selena Gomez. Hold, please.
Holding.
Oh, Selena Gomez. Born a year before me. Zendaya.
Oh, so you're going after the older women still.
I know. A few years younger than me, you know? It feels like age appropriate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Versus like Melissa Joan Hart. How old do you think Melissa Joan Hart is?
Right now?
Yeah.
23?
She's 50. Oh my god.
Oh man. All right. Let's where were we? We were talking about Ariana Grande because we talked about Fokker-in-Law because we were talking about the frat pack because we were talking about the brat pack
because we were talking about John Hughes.
Yes, there we have it. Okay. Man, sometimes it's hard to think back on how we got to where we were.
Do you have any favorite performances or scenes, Tommy?
Oh, yeah, I do. I got 2 favorite performances. Okay. First, big fan of Edie McClurg in this. She is the receptionist to the principal. She's great. Who's also in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. The quote, I think this might be my single favorite quote from the movie, and it's from her. And this is in relation to talking about how everyone is caring for Ferris being sick at the school. The sportos, the motorheads, geeks, sluts, bloods, wastoids, dweebies, dickheads, they all adore him. They think he's a righteous dude.
They think he's a righteous dude.
Yeah, she's great. And for me, on this watch, the standout performance was Alan Ruck as Cameron. I think that, having seen this movie at least half a dozen times, I get something different out of it every time. And a lot of people talk about this online, and I don't think this is any grand revelation, but the character with the biggest arc in this is Cameron. Cameron is, I would say, the emotional and probably thematic heart of the film. And he is so good as this because you get moments where you really see him and Ferris's friendship. The chemistry between Alan Ruck and Matthew Broderick is really great. And like seeing Cameron help out with the prank calls, it's like it feels like getting to see into what Cameron might be like on a more day-to-day basis. But we are catching Cameron in the middle of the height of like a depressive episode. Like he is having suicidal ideation, right? And I think that Alan Ruck does a great job at balancing the humor fun side of him with the disparate side of him, and just how lost this kid is, how he is a ball of anxiety at times. And like, understandably, like when you're a teenager, everything that happens feels like it's the end of the world, because it's always the biggest problem you've ever encountered in your life. And frankly, at that point in your life, like, you don't have a whole lot. You have school, your friends, and home. Like, it's not like you have a 9-to-5 job and a bounty of hobbies. Those are things that people usually develop over their life. So even small stakes drama in the eyes of a teenager are cataclysmic. And, you know, he has a lot going on. I don't want to reduce his character to being like, oh, he's a high schooler who doesn't know what life is like. Oh, he thinks everything's the end of the world because he's still a child. Because it is more than that. He has some very serious issues going on. And Alan Ruck, I think, balances it really nicely. The moment where I think won me over is the wrong way to put it, because it's not like he had any winning over to do. But the moment he like won me over on this watch was when Ferris is calling him repeatedly to get him to try and come over, and Ferris is like, he's not going to do it. I'm disappointed in Cameron. He's better than this. And then we cut to Cameron just sitting in his own car. He's like, he'll just keep calling me. He'll keep calling me over and over. His eyes are like clenched. He's like, he's going to make me feel guilty. It's ridiculous. I'll go. And he just, shit. He like backs out. Then, he just, a lot of range from him in this. So big fan of him. But CJ, how about you? Who are your favorite performances?
Everything you said about Alan Ruck, 100%. I like watching that fuckwad get what he deserves on screen. That was cathartic. Yeah. Even if it was, make believe. I liked the sister as she got further and further through the movie. But Charlie Sheen and her in the police station was one of my favorites. What were, I guess, so that was Jennifer Grey. What were there any specific, I know you said the police station. What about the police station? That felt like such like a weird grounding moment for her. Especially because Charlie Sheen looked like he had been up for 3 days, and he's like, why do you care if your brother cut school? Yeah, he is spitting bars at her, dude. Yeah. You know what? Charlie Sheen might have actually done drugs for 3 days and just stayed up. Like, and maybe he should try acting. But no, I thought that was a cool, like, weird reset for her. I don't know that a movie today does that. I feel like they do the Phineas and Ferb thing where it's just the sister that wants to get her brothers in trouble just doesn't have a moment where it's like, okay, but why do you care? Like, yeah, sure, it's kind of stupid that he gets away with everything and fine, but like, why do you care? Yeah. Like, what's going on for you? Yeah, I think that to that point does a great job of capturing that the sibling rivalry that often exists. And it doesn't necessarily have to be anything big and bombastic. It feels very rooted in reality of, it's like, no, there's a lot of tension between them because they're at their fucking, they're in each other's faces all the time, and they have to live with each other, and they annoy each other, and they're in the same grade with each other, which I'm sure
I'm sure down the road they would be grateful for going to school in the same grade, but probably in the moment annoys the hell out of them that they are in the same grade together.
Yeah.
So I agree with what you said. It's a nice moment that gives Jeannie a lot more than a character like that often would be given.
Yeah, it gives her something to work with. You know?
Yeah.
Like, okay, you're just not some, like, unrealistic whatever. You know?
Yeah. And from a writing perspective, it's nice in that, like, no, so she is on this path to debunk Ferris's lie through sheer happenstance, ends up getting, I guess one detail I kind of got wrong in the recap is I said that she called the police on Rooney, leading to her going to the station. It was because they thought that she prank called the cops, so they arrested her.
Right.
Which is so, like,
stupid.
Yeah. So, like, through pure happenstance, she ends up at the police station. And while she's there, it's not like even when she's there, she has this realization, but it's when she's there that she's given the ammunition to make the change and have the character arc that she has. So it's nice to, like, you know, take this character, divert her, have her hear words she needs to hear, and then we set her back off on her path where she is head to head with her brother. And then it all, of course, comes to a T with her having a moment of, do I let my brother actually get in trouble, or do I step in and save his ass? And she answers the call. She rises to the occasion and has that growth moment, which is nice.
I agree.
So something that we briefly touched on was the fourth wall breaks and also the cringe aspect. I guess fourth wall breaks, I didn't have too much to add, but was that something you were anticipating? I feel like it's something you don't see too often, especially in an 80s film.
No, but it worked.
Mm-hmm.
I really, my tolerance for cringe is very light.
Right.
I had a couple. The restaurant scene I had a hard time with.
Mm-hmm.
The scenes where, like, he almost gets caught by his dad, because his dad is just apparently having the same exact day as his son.
Yeah.
Those were like the one where his sister almost slams on the brakes because she sees him and the mom doesn't.
Yeah, because the mom, like, she's holding a newspaper or something. And
yeah, all the papers go over the car. What is wrong with you?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay. I have a hard time with those. Where he's, like, about to get caught, or, like, it's like he's in this. I'm like, just the French restaurant was the one I had the hardest time with. Because that one, it felt less like. It felt less like, oh, the first time they did a phone prank, and this one's like, okay, we're actually gonna scam this restaurant.
Yeah, and not just that, they steal a dude's reservation and sit down and have a meal. They are lucky as hell this dude never actually ended up showing up for his reservation.
Yeah, it's just like, cool and glad that it worked out, but like when they're like, or he's like on the phone and they have to do the gymnastics with the lines and everything, couldn't do it. Otherwise, it was okay. It was pretty okay.
Good. I'm glad that it was tolerable. Where, I guess, how does this compare to, say, Game Night? In terms of cringe.
In my memory, Game Night was better.
Game Night was better than this in terms of being easier to sit through for cringe?
In my memory.
So,
yes.
Can I remind you of a scene from Game Night?
Is it the fucking hand?
No, not the hand. It's when they go to Jesse Plemons' house and he's dripping blood everywhere.
Oh my god! No, okay, Ferris Bueller's better.
Man, I forgot about that scene when we watched Game Night, and my hand was over my mouth. Like, I can't believe I am making CJ watch this.
No, my god, the dog. I couldn't.
What that dog doing?
It hurts right now. I have my hands over my eyes right now. Okay, yes. Ferris Bueller was better than Game Night.
Oh, man. All right. Well,
do you have anything else?
I was about to ask you the same. Did you have anything else? Because I think I'm at about my end.
I think I'm okay.
Okay. Well, how about we get to all of the important questions we always have to ask?
All right, let's get them.
All right. So first up, this was part 2 in our duology on kids not going to class with The Social Network. So, which did kids not going to class better, this or The Social Network?
Definitely this one. It's the whole point of the movie.
It is. I'm with you. It's in the title.
Like, the man is like, how can I go to school on a day like today? It's like, I don't fucking blame you, kid.
Okay, so we'll say Ferris wins that one. All right, so now how about this? What genre was Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Okay,
this,
comedy.
Of course, yeah, comedy for sure. This, of course, for anyone listening, we are keeping track of all of the movies we watch in 2026. We are figuring out what genre each movie is because we have predictions that we filled out at the start of the year for what movie or what genre we would watch the most. We, of course, have to keep a tally. So comedy, I'm with you. That's number 1.
I don't know if there's another one to do.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know what else you could put in here. Thriller?
Teen comedy?
Yeah, at that point, we're getting into subgenres. I think we leave it at comedy then.
I agree.
All right. Cool. Nice and easy. Okay. Time for the real most important question, though. Okay. CJ, could you have done a Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
All right. Who am I?
You're Ferris Bueller.
Okay. No.
Okay,
he
why not?
Engineered his whole house.
Yeah, he had like a fucking Rube Goldberg hooked up to his door to make it look like he never would, that he's always in bed. That shit was impressive.
Yeah, he did. He had the fucking doorbell rigged. Yeah, I couldn't do it. Yeah.
Wow, I gotta be real. I'm surprised because I thought you were gonna be like, yeah, I could do it. I just don't show up for school.
That's the easy part. That's not doing something. He did a lot. It was his day off, but he did a lot.
Yeah, a lot. Oh, okay. Well, with that covered, maybe we get to the second most important question. CJ, is Ferris Bueller's Day Off okie dokie?
I think it's okie dokie.
Yeah?
Yeah, without hesitation, I say this movie is good.
Well, that makes me so happy to hear.
How about you?
Yeah, this is a classic in my book. This is, I have so many distinct memories of going over to friends' houses in middle school and high school, and we just ended up putting this on to watch, and that's what we did. This is a classic. Absolute classic.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay, well, why don't we get up from the Is the Film Okie Dokie room and take a stroll down the hallway to the rec room?
Did I tell you my idea for a calendar?
We have talked about our idea for a 365-day advent calendar.
Yes, this is a different kind of calendar.
Okay, I'm all ears.
A product that we would make and sell.
Okay.
And the months are drawings of our descriptions of the rec room.
So hold on. I have questions.
So, like, remember the time that there was the mattress in here?
Yeah. So what would they draw? Would they just draw the mattress covered in jizz?
No, there's no jizz mattress.
See, I remember it differently.
There were stains. It wasn't jizz stains.
So yeah, would they draw like? Would each drawing be like 90% the same, but just with one key difference? Like there's a mattress.
Like that. Like, remember the time we painted the walls?
Yeah, or the other time that we painted the walls.
Yeah,
or
we
who could forget the time we painted the walls?
Yeah, I think there's enough here.
Okay,
I think there's enough here. Anyway,
we need to find an artist based on Fiverr or something.
Yeah,
throw him a few bucks.
Yeah, just draw on a rough approximation of this room. Here's the template. Yeah, here, honestly, just color it in. All right. Listen, I got rid of all my old office chairs. I was very proud of myself. I had 3 extra office chairs. Unfortunately, they're all in pieces in here. But I got rid of them.
Wait, are the pieces still in here? I'm having a hard time.
Yeah, they're in the rec room. You don't see them?
Oh, that's what this is?
Yeah, it's a bunch of deconstructed office chairs.
Ooh, I thought it was a piece of art.
It's not like avant-garde deconstructed art. It's like literal garbage.
See, that's what I thought you were doing.
Yeah. I'm making sculptures. My recommendation is Project Hail Mary. Really, probably like the best film that I
Period.
have. Probably the best like sci-fi film that I've seen in a while.
Okay.
Really like the Andy Weir. I just rewatched The Martian for the first time since it came out.
Okay, I was about to ask, how did you rewatch it for the first time?
Since it came out. And I bought it on Amazon in 4K. It was beautiful in 4K. Yeah, I just really enjoy, I don't want to say hard sci-fi, but like plausible sci-fi. Not like laser guns and spice running and like not like space mafia, but like, okay, yeah, like realistically, if we like take into our hearts that these few things are possible science fiction wise, like a team that could get to Mars in 2 years on a spaceship, or a ship that has to put people in a coma. Like, not big leaps in science, but like maybe we could do this, right? And I like that a lot. And so, obviously those books are really good. And they are very critically acclaimed. And I feel like the movie did a great job of translating what I thought might be a difficult character to screen. I don't want to undersell how difficult I thought it would be for them to put Rocky on screen. Like, they did a great job. I don't want to undersell how difficult the prospect of that is, right? And so there's a Rocky puppet, and there's Rocky the CGI character, and I just think they did really well with it. If they don't get Rocky right, it doesn't work. Frank Oz has said about Yoda, as much as Yoda, the audience loved Yoda, it only works because Mark Hamill believed in Yoda.
Right.
If it didn't work with Mark Hamill, no one would believe Yoda. But is there a second on screen with the puppet Yoda where you doubt that he's real, that he's alive?
No.
Exactly. And so there's never a moment when you see Rocky where you're like, he's not alive.
Right.
It's just and so very, very powerful. I did go see the drama we talked about in the pre-show. I don't know that I'm recommending the drama. I'm going to recommend, I just started my rewatch of Band of Brothers, which I know that I've recommended in the past, but it's a really great show. And I'm kind of going through my HBO cycle where I watch The West Wing, and then I watch Band of Brothers, and I watch et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's been good.
CJ, I got news for you. You've actually never recommended Band of Brothers before.
Hey, look at that. Band of Brothers, great show. Damian Lewis is famous for being in Billions, but before that, about 10 or 15 years before that, he was in Band of Brothers. I cannot see him. One of the reasons I have not watched Billions, even though I heard it's a good show, and I love Damian Lewis, is because he plays someone so different than the guy from that show.
I didn't know who Damian Lewis was off the top of my head, and I have to say I've watched Band of Brothers once in my lifetime over a decade ago, and I googled Damian Lewis and instantly like, oh, it's Winters.
Yes,
like
Dick Winters,
a face.
Yes, Dick Winters, Richard Winters in Band of Brothers. It is he is Captain America. He is the best leader He is the one that you want in your foxhole. He is the one, literally, if not but for the grace of God holding him back, storms the fucking beaches with you. And he is just a great man in the show. To see him do the Dick Winters voice, because I think he's British. To see him do the Richard Winters voice for that Bobby Axelrod and Billions, I'm like, no. It's the same feeling I had when, what's his name? Chris Evans did Knives Out. And I'm like, no, but you're Captain America. This isn't who you are. You didn't kill anybody. You're Captain America. I'm not doing a bit. I genuinely felt really bad when he was a bad guy in a movie. Spoiler alert, I guess, but
that's messed up.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, so those are my 2 recommendations. I recommended Project Hail Mary, and I recommended Band of Brothers.
Very nice. I've got 2 recs as well. The first is a TV show called Jury Duty. This is a show
I don't think I can watch that show.
This is not a CJ show. It's incredible, though. So the premise of Jury Duty, I'm recommending it because a second season for it recently came out and just finished airing. The premise of the show is they concoct a situation, which in the first season is jury duty, where they have one person go through it thinking that it's real, and everyone else involved is an actor. They're filming it all in secret. The one person who's like an actual human in the first season, his name is Ronald. Ronald thinks he's a part of a like low budget documentary covering some jury duty for a case. Little does he know he's being filmed by dozens of cameras at every moment that are all hidden, and all of these people have scripts, and it's this whole thing. It sounds like a fun premise, and it is. It's a very funny show, having these preposterous situations unfold around someone who thinks it's all real. And getting to see like a very real human reaction. But the thing that really blew me away with season 1 when I watched it a couple years ago is just how much heart there is in the show. The premise sounds like it sounds very mean-spirited or bad-natured in like just based on the premise alone. It sounds like they're pulling one over on this dude. And to an extent they like literally are. Though it's so much more about highlighting the bright spots of humanity than pointing at someone and laughing. And I don't want to say too much more than that, because I think that a lot of it is watching that first season for the first time and seeing how it all unfolds at the end and learning a lot about the purpose of the show. But needless to say, season 2 just aired, which is called Jury Duty Presents Company Retreat, where they did the same thing. They got a different dude. His name is Anthony. And instead of doing jury duty again, they framed it as hiring him as a temp at a company that is going on a company retreat for a week. And it's just more of what makes season 1 fantastic. They're a bit different in nature just by way of the setting. Jury Duty season 1 feels a lot more like you're watching people in a classroom trying to behave and struggling to break, because like a jury, or struggling to not break because it's a jury duty setting. Like Ronald himself, he's like, I have to be on my best behavior and I have to make sure I'm like not breaking any laws. And there's a lot of like, something happens, it's like, oh my God, are we all going to get arrested? Season 2, because it's at a company retreat, Anthony has a lot more room to be himself and not just try to be as small of an individual in the room as possible to not make it about him, which leads to, I think, a lot more of the highs that season 1 has in terms of feeling the bright spots of humanity. Yeah, and they're just both hilarious, absolutely hilarious seasons. The actors are all incredible. The actors that they get for it, you've not seen them, like pretty much any of them anywhere, maybe like some small roles. Jade and I will be watching like a movie now or a show, and someone will pop up. We're like, oh my God, it's the old woman from Jury Duty. Like that, we get that experience now and then. But my God, these actors are incredible. Something important to mention with season 1 is they are all actors, and they're all no-name actors, except there is one actual big actor in season 1 of Jury Duty playing himself. James Marsden is a part of the show playing James Marsden. And it's great. It's not really spoiling anything, but like in the first episode, James Marsden is kind of talking to Ronald, and Ronald's like, wait, you're an actor? Are you in anything? Wait, were you in Sonic? He's like, yeah. He's like, oh, I didn't think it was very good. He just says that to his face. But it's a great show. So wanted to recommend that. The other thing I wanted to recommend is a book that I've been slowly reading for a while. It took me a while to get through, not by virtue of it being a hard or a slow read. It's actually a very short read, and it flies by. I just read a lot of books at one time and make little progress on all of them at once because I'm always hopping between them. But I wanted to recommend a book called In the Blink of an Eye, A Perspective on Film Editing by Walter Murch. This is a book, Walter Murch, he is a film editor. He edited Godfathers 2 and 3, I want to say. He edited The Conversation. He edited Apocalypse Now. He edited The Talented Mr. Ripley, The English Patient. He has a lot of experience editing, and it ranges. He started editing in the 60s, and he's still editing today. So he has hands-on editing experience with all forms of film editing that have existed, from analog to the digital world we live in now. In the late 80s, I want to say, he gave a talk at a college or something. He gave a lecture, and that lecture was transcribed and brushed up and turned into the first edition of this book. And then it was updated about a decade and a half later in the early 2000s for the second edition, which has a lot more discussion about digital editing. And it's, if you're a fan of film and editing in particular, or you yourself edit things, it's a pretty interesting read. It's a lot about the history of editing in Hollywood, which is really interesting to learn about. But he does have some really interesting insights as to knowing when to cut a scene. He talks a bit about his methods at times for how to figure out where cuts should be made. It's just a really interesting read if you're into film. I don't want to like talk about like the big takeaways, but like one of the big things in it is he talks about like editing the movie The Conversation, and he talks about how editing a scene with Gene Hackman, or editing a scene that Gene Hackman is in, just made him realize something new about editing that ended up being kind of his rule of thumb for a long time. So it's cool to get to hear these real stories from impactful people with impactful roles in filmmaking in Hollywood in general. Like Walter Murch, he is a very renowned editor for his work. So it's cool to get to hear about the making of him in a way, and the making of his processes. So yeah, wanted to give that a rec. So again, I recommended Jury Duty and In the Blink of an Eye, A Perspective on Film Editing by Walter Murch. Well, CJ, should we leave this room that we're going to have 12 pictures drawn of?
Yes, why not?
Let's head on over.
Room.
Yeah, let's head on over to our next most important room, the Next Time on Podium room.
Yes.
So, kind of let it slip last episode, but guys, we're having a guest next time on. The film is Okie Dokie.
Yeah.
And they recorded a little stinger for us here to find out what we're watching next time. CJ, are you ready to hear this for the first time live with me?
Yes, I'm excited.
All right, let's hope this comes through. You ready?
Yep.
Hello, you goofy goobers. I'm Nervy Destroyer, fan of the anus, and also Tommy and CJ. You all just went on a wild and fun adventure where Ferris Bueller had to neglect many rules to finally take his day off. Well, I'm happy to announce that we'll be following this duology of rules, and how sometimes they just need to be broken. That's right, we're journeying to the wonderfully horrifying but fun world of Zombieland.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Awesome.
Well, next time on, you will be able to join me, CJ, and Nervy watching Zombieland. CJ, have you got anything to add?
Twinkies.
Twinkies. Okay. CJ, could you give us all of those magnificent things you always say to round up our episodes?
Thank you to everybody for listening to The Film is Okie Dokie. Remember to like us, rate us, review us, give us 5 stars. If you only give us 4 stars, I'm inclined to believe that you are a hater. Shout out to Bomani Jones at Wave Sports and Entertainment for the quip. Remember to tell your friends, tell your neighbors' friends, tell your neighbors' kids. They have little fingers. They may need help working the buttons. Just go ahead and download this podcast directly to your friends' devices. It really helps us out. And join the Discord. The conversation's always happening. A great group of people there. As always, the Discord. The link to the companion audio track and everything else will be in the description of the episode. As always, I have been CJ.
I've been Tommy.
And this has been The Film is Okie Dokie. Bueller. Bueller. Bueller.